Assalamu alaikum, namaste, and welcome to the News Hour with your favorite host and host Jennifer Rogers. And if you are new to our channel, do not forget to share this video with all your friends and family so they are aware about all the things happening in Qatar and all around the world. And with that, we are also available on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, where we post a lot of interesting content and it's just for you. And if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, please go ahead and do so. Our YouTube channel name is also Qatar Day, and do not forget to check out our other video, which is other channel, which is qatarday.com. Now with this, I have one local news and four international, so let's just get into it. The first one being Qatar Chamber Labour Ministry to sign deal to boost cooperation in work re-employments. So the agreement constitutes a support for the Qatar Chamber's electronic platform for labour re-employment, which was launched in coordination with the ministry in last June, with the aim to facilitate the re-employment of skilled workers in the local market. The agreement aims at fostering cooperation between both parties in labour re-employment and facilitating the access to skilled labourers, as well as providing alternatives to recruitments from abroad through establishing an electronic link between both sides to save time and efforts in a way that achieves interest for all parties. Now, under the agreement, it was agreed that a joint committee of Chamber and the Ministry would be formed to implement each other's parties' responsibilities and roles under the signed agreement, which include boosting coordination between both sides, propose additional areas of cooperation, and follow up in the implementation of joint projects in accordance with the signed agreement. Now with this, let me get to the first international update of the day, which is now Makkah's Grand Mosque is ready to receive Umrah pilgrims on Sunday, that's today. So Makkah's Grand Mosque will see the return of Umrah pilgrims on Sunday for the first time ever since the pilgrimage was temporarily suspended due to coronavirus. With the expectations of Hajj, pilgrims will gather at located or allocated sites in Makkah, including Ajad, Al-Shasha and Al-Gaza and Al-Zahir, and will be transported to the mosque by special buses. They will be accompanied by a healthcare professional. The General Presidency of the affair of the two holy mosques is prepared to receive pilgrims and have various preventive measures in place to ensure their safety. Saudi press agency reported that at least 1,000 employees have been enlisted to monitor Umrah rituals at the Grand Mosque, and it is cleaned 10 times a day. The mosque toilets are cleaned 6 times a day, and carpets, floors, Zamzam water fountains and all maintenance vehicles are sanitized around the clock. Now, sanitization devices have been installed at the entrance of the mosque and on escalators. Air conditioned systems are cleaned with ultraviolet rays, and scent is sprayed in the mosque frequently. Now, the thermal cameras are being used in the mosque to identify people with high body temperature. Now, the Mataf area surrounding the Kaaba will only be used by Umrah pilgrims to perform the Tawaf ritual to ensure their safety and comfort. Now, with this, let me get to the second international news of the day, which is COVID-19 vaccines rolled out expected in less than 3 months in UK, as said by the Times News. The mass rollout of COVID-19 vaccine in Britain could be finished in little less than 3 months, the Times reported, citing government scientists. Now, scientists working on the Oxford vaccine hope approve it before the beginning of 2020. The newspaper said a full COVID-19 immunization program, which would exclude children, could be quicker than expected, adding the health officials estimate that every adult could receive a dose of the vaccine within 6 months. The European Medicine Agency said on Thursday that it has started reviewing data on the AstraZeneca and Oxford University's potential COVID-19 vaccine in real time. The first of such moves aimed at speeding up any approval process in the region of a vaccine. Now, the news of the European view also raised changes of the British vaccine, which is seen as leading the race of successful vaccine against COVID-19, becoming the first to be approved in Europe for the disease caused by the novel coronavirus, which has killed more than 1 million people globally. Now, the Times report added that the plans under consideration by government included allowing a much wider group of healthcare staff to administrate the vaccine, setting up of drive-through vaccination centers, and recruiting help for armed forces. Now, with this, let me get to the third international news of the day, which is the flood barrier successfully now protects Venice from high tide. A long delayed flood barrier successfully protects Venice from high tide for the first time on Saturday, bringing relief and smile to the lagoon city following years of the repeated incidents that have been happening with the floods. Today, everything is dry. We stopped the sea, city mayor reported after raising a glass in celebration with some of the engineers and officials responsible for the multi-billion euro project known as MOOS. Now, a lot of bad things have happened here, but now something wonderful has happened, he added. And the network of 78 bright yellow barriers that guarded the entrance to the dedicated Vetinian lagoon lifted from the seabed as the tide, driven by strong winds and rain, started to climb. City officials have forecasted a tide of 130 centimeters, that's 4.27 feet, well below the devastating 187 centimeters tide that battered Venice last November. But even though to leave the low-lying area deep underwater. Now, with this, MOOS is designed, this whole thing is called MOOS. So, MOOS is designed to protect Venice from the tides for up to 3 meters, well beyond current records. And on Saturday, successes raised hopes for bright futures of the city, which have suffered from the catastrophic floods that have been happening and a fall in tourism due to COVID-19. What he added was, this is a beautiful day for Venice, which has finally been saved, the Democratic Party said in a statement. Now, with this, I've come to a very interesting topic that has been going around a lot nowadays, which has no end whatsoever. But Sushant Singh Rajput death case was declared a suicide, and the murder area or the angle of the murder has been completely ruled out as per the AIIMS panel chief. Now, Sushant Singh Rajput death was a suicide and not a murder. Dr. Sudhir Gupta, who led the AIIMS panel re-evaluating the actor's post-mortem report, said many, including Sushant Singh's family, have been arguing and urging the Central Bureau of Investigation to initiate a murder probe in this case. Sushant was found dead in his apartment on June 14. His family was accused. The family has accused Rhea Chakraborty for abating his suicide and misappropriating his funds. Rhea is currently in jail on drug-related charges pertaining to the case. Now, Sushant Singh Rajput's death is a case of suicide. Murder has been completely ruled out, the doctor said, according to India Today. The AIIMS doctors have submitted their findings to the CBI on September 29th. He told ANI there were no injuries on the body other than of hanging. There were no marks of struggle, scuffle on the body and clothes of the deceased. Sushant's death was originally ruled as a suicide by the Mumbai police before the case was taken over by the CBI. The CBI is likely to continue its probe into abetment to suicide, the NDTV reported. So far, no evidence have come up to prove it's been a case of murder. If during the case of investigation we get any evidence, murder charges can be added and will be added, they added. For now, abetment to suicide and other charges in the FIR are being probed. The report quoted as saying, Vikas Singh, the lawyer representing Sushant's father, have previously claimed that an AIIMS doctor has told him that the legitimate mark on Sushant's neck was consistent due to the strangulation because he was hung. and the doctor told that Sushant's death was by strangulation and not murder. He added that the presence of any sedative material was not detected by the Bombay FSL and AIIMS toxicology lab. The complete examination of the legitimate mark over the neck was consistent because of hanging. Now he added that Dr. Gupta has refuted these claims. He told Times Now no conclusion option for homicide or suicide can be made by seeing any legitimate marks on this scene of the occurrence. It is difficult for doctors and next to impossible for general people. Needed solely internal link discretion and forensic inspections. Satish Manshinde, the lawyer representing Ria, has said that they will await the CBI's official report. Truth cannot be changed and we await the official report by the CBI, he added, according to CNN News 18. Now with this, I'm done with all the updates for today. Thank you so much for logging on to Qatar Day. Keep loving, keep supporting, keep watching Qatar Day, the pulse of the nation. Me, your host in those, Jennifer Rogers, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place. Until then, remember to look after yourself. It's very important, as I always say, to take care of yourself and to stay healthy, eat healthy, stay safe. And until then, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Khuda Hafiz. Bye-bye.